Hi, welcome to another episode of Young Entrepreneurs with Young Ideas. Today we have Adam Garipoglu from Canada. His ideas started the shape in a couple countries and now he's standing as a successful businessman. So Adam, welcome again. Why don't we start about you? What would you like to tell us about yourself?
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity and having this chance to discuss. My name is Adam. I'm born in Canada, actually, and I grew up in Turkey. I spent more than 10 years in Turkey. Turns out I was actually going to be a professional soccer player, which I couldn't. And I became a young entrepreneur, we say. But obviously, I learned things, obviously, from soccer and being a team player, I guess. Crazy thing is, I wasn't expecting to be owner of the any big company or something. I was more like a traveling, and I want to see the world as all the young generation, I guess, wanted. So I traveled 63 countries so far with American Airlines. I worked for American Airlines as a group travel director. And so luckily I end up in here. I study international export import, which is economics in Turkey. And I came to Canada and I came to Canada in 2011, came back to Canada actually, 2011. And since then, I studied tourism management and law in Canada, worked in that field. And after I applied for the law, again, and so far, am I practicing a law? Not so much, but holding the degree and working towards that.
Wow, that's really a lot.
Oh, thank you.
A soccer player to now a businessman, it's a vast difference actually. Okay. Now about Wool 17. What about it, and what's the idea behind it?
World 17. Sorry, World 17 is actually it's my baby, obviously, and I did share this dreams with a couple of my partners and people that worked for. World 17 is actually, it's a module that helps individuals and 90% companies who wants to expand and who wants to become let's say a brand outside of their own countries. So if I have to go back and start over, it's Word 17 started with $900 in my kitchen cabinet top. So I was sitting on my kitchen, I created the website, and in that time, it was mostly people who will try to come to Canada and help them do their, I would grade them from airport and stuff like that. It was simple and easy idea. So when people start coming to Canada, they start asking me. They were like, okay, Adam, so you brought us to Canada, but what are we going to do, right? So is there any business we can start here? So I started helping them to open a new business and bring them with the vendors and buyers and all sort of things. So once I started that, they need the office, head office. So I rented actually a large office and I start giving tables to those people who need office. So it became a unified office. It's so common in Singapore as well, in Canada, in the United States. In one address, you could find at least like 100 offices. But mine was more tangible. Like you will have a secretary, you will have your lawyer in there, you will have your accountant there, even your human resources guy in there. So it was legit good. Let's say business home. Like it was like a home. It's like a family. And after that, I went to Turkey and a couple companies and some key people met me and they were like, Adam, we have this company. Why would not going to talk to Turkish government about this? So maybe Turkish government can push their companies to Canada or American continent. So I brought with this idea, I brought 54 companies from Turkey to Canada.
Wow.
So some of them was just opening to Canada for their PR, which is we are in American continent, we have an office. So it's just a PR, right? But some of them were really ambitious. Like they wanted to achieve things. They want to do export and they want to get bigger. So for those companies, what we did, once they rented the table, we will make them marketing research and we will do risk analysis and we will tell them if it works for them or not in Canada. And so this is the main thing. But what happened in the end, the dollar went so high in Turkey and government couldn't help anymore because government will pay approximately $600,000 to $200,000 for each branch opening in Canada.
Oh.
That's a big money. And for a year, for 5 years. Right?
It's the Canadian government.
It's the Turkish government.
Oh, sorry, Turkish government.
Turkish government, because they want to endure and they want to push people and companies to go outside and like do business outside.
To expand it.
Oh yeah, expand. And thank you. And after that, so what happened, because we were good with Turkish government, we did what we have to and we did not steal money, and that was a key part. In today's world, unfortunately, people, they forgot the most important part, and the most important part is being honest. So I think we kept the honesty, and so once we succeed in Canada, Turkey came and said, can you help us to expand to England, London? We already have things, but you should go and check it out a little bit. And we expand in London. We did the same in New York, and we did the same in Singapore. So we kind of expanded by demand. We didn't like, I woke up one day and said, okay, let's open I dreamed. So let's do it. I saw the vision. I have a vision. No, it wasn't like that. And the idea behind it, though, if I go back to question, is we do not work by project base. I hate is a strong word, but I dislike working with projects. Okay, so because with projects, after the project is done, it's like a capsules that reaching sky. You just leave the person. We don't want to be that. Like because if you are a project, you just suck as much as you can. And now that the project is done, you just go and look for another host. And I don't want that. So we are more like a project base. So, sorry, not project base. We continue.
Project base.
So if the person comes to Canada or they expand in the United States, we charge them something, maybe sometimes nothing, because we want to go and work with them. We get sometimes 10% of their company. We offer money so we can get together. Or maybe we can get their management because we do not want to make money. Word 17 is not a place that you charge people for service fee and let them go. I don't think it's a new age strategy of growing. So we go shoulder to shoulder. So we put something in it. So I know it's complicated, but let me explain like this and done with this question. Is if the company comes to Canada and if they're doing good money, we know that marketing research make them a good money, will make good money. We tell them, okay, you know what? Let's sell us 10%. We don't want to do any service fee or little service fee. So we will walk in this path together. That's the reason Word 17 now has soccer schools and restaurants, a tour company, education company, IT department. We have over 14 companies that is tied to Word 17. So idea about that is growing together, but not as a phrase in a realistic life.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I actually wanted to ask you, so you did mention that, when people come into Canada and then, then they ask you, what are they going to do and things like that. So when you say they come into Canada, have these people already decided that they are moving in to start a business, or they're just coming in as like, say, visitors, social visitors, and then, how they plan to just build a career there or life there, and then they approach you?
Yep. Two ways. We have both of them. Some of them they can, because for Turkey, not just for Turkey, we have Russian clients. We have we have Indian clients. So we had Singaporean clients. So Canada is too far for them. We even had Japanese clients. So it's too far, and some of them they want to see. And 90%, I'm not lying, 90% of our clients, they have kids. So it's most of the time, it's their kids actually. They want to give a better education. And so we it's something like that. Imagine, if you have 2 kids and you're sending them to school in the United States or in Canada, okay? So each high school, it will cost you approximately $50,000, okay? With everything inside, $50,000, with dormitory and stuff like that. And university, if you go UFT, University of Toronto, it is $50,000 just for fee. So in long run, in 8 years, you will spend 4 years high school and 4 years university. So you lose $200,000 high school, $200,000 at university. It makes $400,000. So sometimes entrepreneurs think, why I'm gonna give this money like this? I can go to Canada, invested $800,000 or $400,000, okay? Invest that $400,000, have the office, earn money, and my kid can go to school at the same time, because if you have a work visa, your kid goes to school for free. Understand? So and I don't need to even sell it. I don't sell it. So people sees this. So they're like, okay, so I can open a business, have my work visa, and my kids go to school for free? Yes. And I have a company now for $400,000. Correct. So that's the one thing. So that's the first thing. Second, why people sometimes they want to come here and see, but in Canada, every country is a different of sales, right? So sometimes they think they can do, but it's impossible to do by yourself in Canada. The same in Singapore. Right, because the locals, the working style, like in Turkey, I'm giving simple life experience from me. The first time I went to interview in Canada, nobody gave me or nobody offered me a water, tea. In Turkey, that's common. In Turkey, in interview will take at least 20 minutes, can go up to 3 hours, right? I don't know in Singapore, but I know in India that's a case, right? In Singapore, you might. At least half an hour you can talk. In Canada, it's 10 minutes.
Oh, that's it.
Even if it's half an hour, it's so bam, bam, bam. What are you? What do you do? That's it. Because there's so much different cultural aspect. They don't want to offend you, or the same with coronavirus. We didn't need to say stay apart because we were walking apart. People are not so engaged each other. So I think it's short story. People, they come and they ask, usually, can you guide us in Canada? And some of them, they see if it's worth to live. And after they approach, if I put 70%, it's without coming Canada, they come to us. 30% after they see the Canada, they come to us. And the last, and that's a little information, you can come to Canada by visa, tourist visa, and you can do your business here, start and apply for the work visa. Investor visa, you can do that.
Oh, okay. Yes. That's good to know.
Thank you.
Good to know. Thanks. Okay. I know you've actually touched about it, honesty and, because it involves lots of money and all, but has anyone, accused you for any reason, fraud, and because like I said, it's a huge amount of money. What's the trust? How do you actually get them trusting you?
Okay. Oh, okay. That's a unique question. Thank you for that. I'm sorry. Of course, obviously, like even without telling me, I think. So, okay. So I never thought about that. So let's go like this. Have I ever been accused? Personally, a couple times that happened. It is more not because I gave them wrong information or I took their money. It's mostly because they couldn't achieve the goal they wanted to. And they had little money. Once they lost the money, or once they couldn't achieve that, it was their last bullet. They got angry and they kind of took their anger from you. And it did happen a couple times. I can tell the story. That's funny, actually. So the first thing about me is I kind of put myself so much the same position as a doctor. The reason is when you are sick or like really ill, if you die, it's because of the doctor. But if you survive, it's because the God wanted that way. So if you can successfully come to Canada and become a successful businessman, that's you. It's like, well, you think Canada will find a better person than you? But if you can't, it was my fault because your consultant or your partner was bad. So it's usually this way. But thanks, I studied law, so now I'm making things on the paper more. And that's a learning process. Before, it was more verbal talks and like it was verbal agreements. And that's the difference between young company and, I wouldn't say old, but like a mature company.
Mature, yeah.
Yeah, because you learn from your mistakes. I couldn't be called fraud when I started the company maybe 20 times. Just because I didn't want it, I returned all the loss and damage from my own pocket. And that's how I learned. So for example, if the person tried to come to Canada, not even coming, like expand his company. He comes to Canada and he opens a company and he buys license to operate the business, right? So let's say he bought the license, but it was a verbal agreement. And let's say for a tour company, I bought a tour license. And the guy turns out and says, Adam, I don't need that tour license. I want to return it back. And that is $30,000 worth maybe licensing. What are you going to do? Are you going to say to the guy no and let your little company get comments and he talks around and says, oh, Worth 17 is a fraud and they got something to me that I didn't need to and I didn't have anything on my paper, right? So I lost $30,000 recently. This happened recently. And yeah, and the most worst part is actually the person who doesn't have lots of liquid and they apply for things. So like, so they come and they say, okay, Adam, I want to expand to Canada. Good. I want to bring my family. I want to do business. Okay, awesome. So what you want to do? And I create them a strategy. Corona happens or Canada decides that he's not going to get or blocks the state or the province for immigration or investment. Boom. Money goes. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to tell the guy, okay, I'm sorry? No. Because I always I have 12,000 followers, I guess, we have as Worth 17 in Facebook. And as you know, writing from keyboard, it's the easiest thing in today's world. And we still don't have any swearing, any bad things, any bad comments online, as which I know. So that's why it's a good thing. But personally, I think I might angry a couple people and I might disappoint a couple of people. And from here, I'm sorry for that. But if you want me to give you the legit numbers, if I had over 500 clients in last 5 years, more than that, 0.5% maybe is the unhappy side of it. Other than that, but that is a big number for me because I'm 31 years old and I want to run this company. So if you put every 5 years 0.5, 0.5, that makes 1%, and that can affect, like it's like having a little fly inside your water. A lot of people will just drop that water because of the fly. So I don't want to create that fly. But thank you. That was a unique question. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Now let's go on to the next one. I trust you've actually mentioned this, but so do you sell or do you help? So you did mention that you actually help those who are coming in to find for the appropriate business and then you are like the middle person between like getting rental places and all for them to start up. So would that be considered as selling or helping, or would you put them both together?
Okay. So I do not sell anything. I never ever sold anything last 5 years. I am absolutely against of selling anything because I am not working in the market. It's not a bazaar. It's not, you understand what I mean? So it's not like I'm not in the shop. So the idea of it, I am helping people. I'm helping the ideas. That's what I see myself. And as I mentioned earlier, yes, we want to work with them together. And if uh, I'm against the like service charge and stuff like, yes, selling knowledge is a big industry. But if you, like, for example, if anyone who is watching this, if you pick up the phone and call me today, and I will just give my information for free because I
So
am
no service charge, none.
no, because because what I want, it's bigger things. Like it's like being in a relationship. If you just gonna suck the person just for going theater or like eating ice cream, it's okay. But maybe that person is your dream husband or wife, but you are losing that because of the small things. So I'm not risking it. So I'm helping. I'm helping those companies to get bigger, and I want to get bigger with them because their success is my success. And the key question in here, I guess, who is helping who?
Yep.
Am I helping them to expand, or are they helping me to get bigger? So that's the complicated question in this stuff because if I was a little company in Singapore or in Turkey, I would dream working my clients today. They're one of the biggest in the world. But now they need me and I need them. And I only did this in the last 2 years. We get really good jump in the last 2 years. So that's why I think helping.
Okay.
Thank
you. Good. Okay. Okay, now, so the question, why Singapore?
Okay, that's a key, right? Okay, why Singapore? Because there are nice people like you guys. That's why. Singapore. Why Singapore? Singapore, again, demand. It was demanded that we had to go. We had to go to Singapore. We needed location in Asia, to be honest. And I closely worked with Japan before. I've been in Japan many times, and my idea was going to Japan first. And I was debating. It's either Japan. Actually, it was Hong Kong, Japan, and Singapore. So what happened? The first was Amira, my greatest manager of all times in Singapore. She was my university friend, classmate from university. So she was in Singapore. She was trying to help me, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm here if you need anything." That's the first thing. I have to say thank you to her from here. So that was the first thing. The second was actually I went to Japan, but the different language and really harsh work style. It's not good for because I'm not one international company. I would bring at least 20, 50 with me. So I need a more comfortable zone. And if my client needs to check something by themselves to prove my wrongs or rights, so I want them to actually pick up the phone and be able to talk with the authorities in that country. Singapore speaks English. And Japan, it's not like that. And Hong Kong, yes, they do, but still, it's, I think, and with recent problems that we wouldn't even able to enter the Hong Kong. So we decided Singapore. It was last year. There's people, obviously. In second, I see Singapore as the heart of Asia for economically. Like by economy, Singapore is, I think, one of the most important part of Asia, and you can actually reach everywhere from there. in a sense that you can go easily to China, you can go easily to Japan, you can go easily to Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, everywhere you can travel from there, and it's English. And they are looking okay with the investors. The only problem we had in Singapore is because in recent years it has been a lot of fraud and a lot of money transfer and offshore in Singapore. So they are more strict now, because you would see lots of people, right? Like the most rich people will say, oh, I have a Swiss account, I have a Singapore account. So they're it took me 3 months to open a business account in bank. Because they want to know what you do, where the money is coming. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I think, and I'm happy to be in Singapore. I like the food. I like the people, and I like the business. And now we have another big group, Cayman Holdings, one of the biggest in Singapore. So we partnered up with them. I think that's the next future. Our future lie downs in Asia. That's the base problem. Like, I don't think American continent will exist this way after 20 years. And we have to position ourselves where the success is raising.
Okay.
Hopefully Candy and don't watch this. That's true.
Okay. So, since you be coming in Singapore and opening up, expanding further, are you scared of becoming even a bigger company and having to deal with a lot more than you are already dealing with?
I am terrified. Are you joking? Of course, I am so scared. I am okay. So to be honest, I always consider myself, when we got together with my team, and we have 26 people, I guess now we are working all together, and I can count myself among them. And 26, I was always the hunter, and I am. Like, I would go hunt it and bring it back, and they will deal with it. Like, they are the one who will prepare them, who will expand them, and I will help them in many cases. But that is the case. But now, you know what makes me, as a doctor, I should just be attending to the operations. But for that, you need to be a company. Like, everybody will have their own work, corporation we call. And being that takes time and money. And I don't think we are there yet. So yes, we are big, but comparing ourselves with the Deloitte or like a McKinsey group, and it's impossible, right? So, but good thing or bad thing, things are still coming. It's like raining, and it's raining down heavily, and we are just filling the pots. And I am not sure how many of the pots that we will be able to use, but we are just filling them. I'm so open and transparent right now. And so am I scared? 5 years ago, this company was built with $900, as I said, with my precious partners. Now I am the single guy, and the company worth $9.6 million. And we have five, I think we are in 5 countries, and we have 8 total branches in 3 continents.
Wow, that's good.
And am I scared? Obviously, yes, but I believe in destiny after this company. Every person that works with us, they have some sort of history with Word 17. We helped them, or in some ways they helped us. So if I have my team with me, I am not scared. Because, like Amira, I do not worry about Singapore because it's Amira there. Or when I think about England, I have my team there. So I don't worry. Germany, we are now expanding to Germany. So in Germany, we have Mr. Junaid. So he's so close to us, I don't think that he will betray us or he will do any big mistake. So, but about the paperwork, yes, I am so terrified. And after certain thing, this is a deep question, a deep answer. Like, after certain time, more money you make doesn't make any difference. What do you want me to do? I already have a nice house and a car. What do you want me to do? Buy another, I don't know, Porsche, get a yacht. So I'm not I'm not looking forward for that. I just want Word 17 to become a brand that every person knows in the world. That's my dream. And thank you.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So you mentioned about you having teams and working well with them, and also and you also did mention that you are the main hunter, and you go down to get all these things done. So you consider yourself a leader or a boss? And
Okay. Cliche. Okay, cliche one. Okay, let's do that. To be honest, I do not think there is a difference between boss and leader. Okay, that's my own opinion. It doesn't matter how many videos are trying to show difference and stuff like that. A leader who thinks he's leader can act the worst leader in the world, and the boss who thinks acting boss can act totally different. So I think it's those both things are a tool, and it's about you how to use those tools. And I don't understand the big fuzz about the being boss and the leader, but I am. Which one I am? I think that's a better my team to answer that. But I'm considering my young age, and I'm remembering our parties and how we deal with the problems. Our turnover, like I don't want to use that word, but like letting people go, turnovers are really low, and we help as much as we can. We attend to everything the people need. And the one thing, though, I think, let's let the viewers decide this. For me, boss and leader, what I'll do is even the hospital issues I will attend, and even in the bad times, I will go and hold the hand of my teammate, and I have constantly new ideas, and I will pursue them. I know my janitor's name. I know who paints our office. I know everything. So that I don't think it's gonna make me leader. My ideas. And my boss, oh yeah, sometimes I could be a goddamn bad boss. I know that one too. I get angry sometimes. So, and I demand sometimes. So I think I'm 50-50. I want to say that. And if there is a consideration, but let the viewers decide it. Maybe my employees will just write under this. Bad boss. I don't know. Thank you.
I mean, if you were to ask me to, it will be good, like what you just said, 50-50.
Yeah.
Because you've got to be friendly enough so that your team can approach you and get more things done from you, learn from you. But at the same time, you can't be too forgiving, because then there won't be a difference. So sometimes you just need to lay it out there and tell them what needs to be done.
Yeah, like there are cliches like like boss orders, leader does it together. I am not gonna do it. Imagine those people who creates these videos or who talks about that, they don't even have their own company, and they do not demand more than 5 people. You understand what I mean? Like it's just like a fuzz. So I want to see them when they're working with 100 people or at least 20 people, and see how that goes. Sometimes you need people that is good in one task, but they're really bad in their social life maybe, or they're bad as a teammate, but what they do specific, accountant. I have an account, awesome. I think best accountant in the world, but has a problem maybe with the teammates, maybe other things, social engagement, work engagement. What I'm going to do as a leader, I don't have a time for that. It's impossible. I'm not a psychologist. I might even damage the person. So those big fuzz about being leader, they follow you. I don't agree. I think it has to be not leader and not boss. You have to combine it, and too much everything is so it's not good. So
that's true.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So you've come this far, so many years. Have you ever thought, at the beginning, that you could actually see yourself 5 years down the road? Like this is what you're going to be. This is how big it's going to be. Have you ever thought of it that way?
Oh, okay. I did not expect this. I knew that will come one day, might happen one day, but I wasn't thinking this. I wasn't thinking I would meet with the Turkish president. You understand what I mean? I didn't think I could. Like Russia. What was the Russian one? International community will call me and talk about it. Or Singapore. When I would go to Singapore, I didn't think the next time Singaporean economy. Was it Minister of Economy would like to talk to me. I did not know, or going to newspapers, entering the CNN news. I didn't, or I have my own column that I'm writing in newspaper. Like, so then, so I did not thought about that and this big. But my future goal is in this. I always envy some of the world leaders that are dedicated, not the stubborn ones, dedicated, and they do not spend with they don't spend their personal time, they don't spend their family time the way they want, and they focus the government or they govern the country. And I'm not a type of guy like that. Yes, I'm workaholic some ways, but I do want to spend with my time with my kids, my wife, my father, my mom. So I might not be as big as I want because I think I like to be socialized because my job needs attending because people, this coronavirus, for example, people says like, oh, the new normal. No. People like to see each other and touch each other, at least feel each other. Yes. We can't do this like this. Yes, you can sell the goods like this, okay? Export, import. Yes, you don't need to go to office every day, maybe. But agreements, I don't know how many times I get ticket to go to Russia. The person wants to see me. They're gonna invest $3 million. They want to see who is this guy. Or government, Singapore government. The next phrase that we will bring Singaporean companies, mid-sized companies to Canada and expand to the United States. Government might help them. And government would like to see me. So it's old school, but I know, but it still goes like maybe it needs time. So my future goal is actually, I just don't want a monopoly. I don't want to control everything. It's just like, I just want to learn enough to help people as much as I can. Right now we have 110 kids that we actually sport. So World 17, 40% of income goes to kids. Kids in need in Morocco, Kenya, in Turkey. So the more I earn, more I'll do. So my future goal is to own my own big village that has kids inside, and after 18 years old, they leave, but the job that we find, and after they will just come back, new ones. So I will, with this World 17, I will focus on this. I think so. That's my dream.
That is very thoughtful. That's very nice, actually.
Hopefully. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Okay. So, actually, I wanted to ask you what your future goals were, but you've already told me, and it's definitely a wonderful day to hear, for sure. But just asking, because you're still so young, and when you started this, you were way younger. Has it ever come to a point, where you felt like, I don't think I can do this anymore. It's taking a toll on me, and I think I need to. And if so, who or what actually helped you push that idea away and tell you that you can actually do it for it?
Good question again. Thank you. I never thought I would give up. I never thought about that. Sometimes people and the regulations wanted me to quit. I had those thoughts. It was a sake for my family and for myself, because don't forget, not everywhere is Canada or Singapore. So in different countries, you're dealing with different circumstances. There is corruption. They're talking big money. And so sometimes in order to work with big groups, sometimes you have to be a part of some associations, which I can simply say I am not associated with any parties or any groups than my Conservative Party of Canada. So I'm just a member of that party. The rest of the world, I am doing, as I said, I'm helping everyone. So I'm not a member of anything. But sometimes they were trying to push me, pull me mostly, for this stuff. They were like, okay, so if you be a part of this, we will help you on this time. If you help on this, come and be one of us. I'll give you. To be honest, if I wanted to do it, yes, things would be so easy. But I saw what they did after that. It was like someone just sucking your blood. Understand what I mean? Yes, you're achieving things. It gives you energy, but you know that is going to eat you deep inside. And I saw that. I saw a million times. So that's why I didn't do it. But sometimes, yes, I wanted to quit, not because of I wasn't thinking or I was not of a failure. It's just like they didn't give me any chance to succeed. It has to be in their way. What I did, I just left. I left them, I left their money, and I focused somewhere else because I am the guy who holds the key in his hand, and they are the key seekers. You know what happened? Guess what? 3 months later, they called me back. They said, you know what? We dropped it. Don't worry. Just help us.
That's good.
Paid off. And my father that works with me in Turkey, he deals with the Turkish management office. He is the one who actually gave me lots of push. My old partners, they were Mrs. Ipek, Mr. Fatih. They were really great. So without them, I wouldn't be here. So what I say is, obviously, I had a lot of help. They used to call me one guy. What was it? Is a team with one guy. That's what you used to call me. They were making jokes on me. They were like, "You're a team with only one guy." But now it's getting better. So yeah, I think I had help and appreciate for that.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so we are coming towards the end of the interview.
Wow.
I've just got one last question.
Wow. Okay.
You are free to not answer it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, is or are there any regrets or wrong decisions you think you might have made whilst growing the company?
Okay. You see, that's why we don't. It's good. That's why you guys aren't sending the questions. So you just caught me off guard. Okay. Any regrets? To be honest, before this company, I never believed in fate or destiny. I never. But with this company, I had occasions and I had meetings and I had my twists so perfectly predicted and so perfectly designed that I start thinking there is a reason behind. I'm not saying a holy purpose. That's what fools does. It's not about that. That it is a reason that because things were just going together. Like it's funny, I met one of my biggest customer in the men's washroom while I was washing my hand. Can you imagine?
Really?
I was washing my hand and the guy near me turned at me, goes like, I heard your conversation. We were expanding to Canada, but we stopped. Can we talk? $5 million worth of business. My partner, who expanded Word 70 because I came to a certain point, but I needed investment after that, obviously. Mr. Fatih, my first partner, he came. I was eating kebab in Canada. And I was explaining the idea to my old boss. Maybe he could give me some hand. He heard me from my back. And he came and he dropped his business card. He said, I want to do the same business as you are doing. And he goes like, let me know if you need help. And he is the reason that we actually had like a jump start after certain things. So it's destiny, I don't know. And am I regretting? I wish I was more mature when I was started this company. Then probably I wouldn't be so harsh on some people. That's the only regret, because personally I'm really fast talker and like has to be done. But sometimes it's like doing gardening. And last 2 years I'm doing gardening, and I'm strongly suggesting plants. Do plantation. That will teach you the way of life. Like you can't make things like this. It's impossible. Like when you put fertilizer, when you put the seed, wait, water it, and you see the result, and you learn it that way, and you understand the first day you can do everything. That's being and getting mature, I guess. So everyone should raise seeds. I'm serious. It might be stupid, but
No, it's not.
that is the way you see the life cycle and the time. You understand space and time. You know, like you just like, okay, so this is how it works. You can't just okay, write the contract, send the guy, and why you didn't do this? Come on, come on, come on. And I want the guy to sign this in 1 hour. No. You know what happened? It's a false and too much fertilizer, and you're gonna burn the seeds. It's the same. The guy signs it, but after when he goes to sleep, he goes and says, "Did did this decision so quick?" And he will regret. Or that person that I pushed will make mistakes and time. I regret only that I rushed so much, and I could have just let it go. If it was, I don't want to say Murphy's rules, but like if something would happen, something will happen. So I think if I go back, I would just act more normally and go slowly. Other than that, there's always purpose. And last, I think, I would do everything on paper, not verbal agreements. So from this conversation, if we learn two things, do seeds and write everything down. I would have saved so much money, but I learned now, and so yeah, that's all I guess. I'm looking forward to come to Singapore. That's definitely a case after COVID.
Yes, definitely. Well, we're at the end of this interview right now, and really thank you so much for your time. And it was really nice getting to know you, and so many informations and so many things you've shared. Wishing you all the very best for World 17 to grow even bigger, and like you said, to put the seeds in and fertilize them and grow them with lots of love. And so that you see the bigger picture of it.
Thank you. That's good.
Yeah. So see you soon in Singapore, and yeah, it'll be nice to have another one of this again.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye bye.